What you guys, got another quadcopter video here for you. This one is from DBPower, and I'm looking forward to doing a review on this one. As you can see here, this is the upgraded version of their U818A. Now this is the HD Plus FPV version. It's been upgraded, this quadcopter. It has plenty of good features on it. It has altitude hold, it has low battery alarm, one button takeoff and landing, 360 flip, head hold mode, and also you can take photos and also video on here with the 720p camera. Now on the back of the box, as you can see here, is going to give you a lot of information about the app panel. Once you install the app, you can put your phone into the section at the top of the controller and you can track your flights, and you can also see all the buttons on there. You can pause the screen at this stage and you can see what you've got. You've got your trim buttons on there, your headless mode, also high and speed mode, and flip buttons and camera buttons and stuff like that. So let's take a look inside the box and see what we get for our money. You can see we get a fully assembled drone, receiver, a couple of batteries, some extra propellers and all that sort of good stuff. So you can see here we do get an operational guide. I'd advise you to read this from front to back, because it's got some useful information here on how to calibrate your drone to the receiver, so you're pretty much good to go from there. You can see it does come with a built-in 720p HD camera. It does have a bit of a jello effect on it, a bit shaking, but it's okay. It does the job. As you can see here, we have the specifications here. We've got the main motors are 8520x4. There's 4 of those. Transmissional batteries, you need alkaline batteries in there. 720p camera. Maximum image transmission distance and radius is 40 meters. Flying distance is 100 meters. 55 to 65 minutes to charge the battery. 350 milliamp hour batteries, you get 2 of those, and also the flight time is around about 7 to 9 minutes flight time as well. 163 grams this way, so it's very lightweight. You can see you've got your USB charger here. This is to charge the batteries, and you get 2 of those. I've already mentioned that. And you just plug that into a computer or a power bank or something like that. So you can see here this craft is very lightweight, and 163 grams, so it's not very heavy at all. Everything is very lightweight and made of plastic, as you can see here, quite flimsy, but this helps protect it if you are flying indoors. Now if you are going to fly outside, make sure there's not a lot of wind, because you may have a bit of difficulty in flying in heavy winds, especially because of the weight of the craft itself. Now on the bottom, as you can see here, we have the camera here, which is a 720p camera. That yellow tape around there will just help you calibrate the receiver to the drone itself. You've got the motors here, very small and lightweight motors, and of course we have the propellers here and the little motor at the back there. And you can see we have some landing feet here already built onto the craft as well. Now you've got that one button landing and takeoff, and you've got the battery inside here, and you've also got one in a box, and they just slide out and you can charge them in the USB holder there on the computer or in a power bank, or whatever way you want to charge yours. So as you can see, we do have the receiver, FPV Wi-Fi on here. And you can see the response on these are very nice. The receiver is a very well built receiver. You've got the LCD screen here, and you've got all your buttons and functions on here. 2.4 gigahertz this one runs on. You can see here we have the LED light and the on and off button. You've got your trim buttons here. You've got your altitude hold, speed button, also landing button here, emergency landing button, flips button, 363 degree flips, and also all your trim buttons on there as well. Now this is a pretty well built receiver, I would say, one of the better ones that I've seen at this sort of price point. And where the FPV Wi-Fi signal is at the top, that's where your phone's going to sit. On the back you've got your panel where you're going to put your batteries in for the receiver. It doesn't come with batteries. It does come with some spare propellers and also a battery, another battery, and you've got a screwdriver there for your screws on the craft. If you want to put new batteries in, you can use that screwdriver. Now this is a little guard which will go round where your phone will sit on the receiver, so if you want to use your phone you can do. You don't need to use the phone, but if you want to, this is a little guard to protect the sun from it, so you can see the screen better, and control it from there. Now if you want to use that, you can do. I'm not going to be using it in this video because we have to do an indoor flight because the weather is pretty bad, and we're going to be doing an indoor flight. Now on the bottom here you can see you've got some LED lights, red and blue I think they are. Now if you are going to fly this indoors, just make sure you've got plenty of space and make sure you're skilled enough to control the craft. You don't want to be doing any damage to your home, but also if you're outside, make sure there's not a lot of wind and you should be pretty much good to go. Let's take a look. Now this is going to be a very limited flight because obviously I'm indoors and it doesn't allow me to do too much, but as you can see here I'm controlling it very easily in my living room here. It's pretty straightforward and easy to do, and you're just going to take it nice and slow. Now this is a good way to learn how to fly without any wind, and basically you can just use one stick here, just leave it in the middle on the left, and then you can just rotate backwards and forwards on the right hand stick and control your craft. It's very easy to do, as you can see here. Now outside is another difficult obstacle because you've got wind to deal with, and when you get a bit of a wind it can actually take control of your craft and fly far out, and it's very difficult to control. So keep the craft low when you're trying to learn, and it's pretty straightforward and easy to do. You can rotate it here, as you can see. I'm trying to keep this nice and steady, and as you can see this is indoors. It's a very small area here we're flying in, so I'd say this really does fly well inside, as you can see here. Now I had to mute the sound of the craft flying because the sound from the blades there was making a funny noise on the actual video footage, and I did this on my phone. But as you can see, I did have a couple of little crashes inside, but because you've got that protective barrier around you, it's not too bad. But just make sure you move any ornaments or anything like that you don't want to break in case you go into them, and keep the speed down. I used the slowest speed setting here. Now I would put this in the beginners category. It's pretty fun and easy to fly, but it's also good for advanced users as well who fancy a little bit more speed, because it does have 2 speed modes on it. It has 2 landing modes, 2 takeoff modes as well, altitude hold mode, which is pretty useful if for beginners, flip mode, high speed and low speed mode as well, head hold mode, and that's pretty nice to have as well. So you've got quite a lot of functionality on this particular type of drone. It's not a lot of money for someone who's starting out to get into drones, who don't want to spend a fortune. You've got a low battery alarm here, out of range alarm, so if it starts to fly away out of range you will get an alarm sounding, which means you can straight away bring it down so you don't lose control, and stuff like that. The propellers are pretty easy to set up and put on, and there's some really decent functionality to this particular type of drone. You get an app from the App Store which allows you to control it. You can do tracking on it as well, pretty decent. But if you want to see more of this, hopefully let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try and take it outside and fly outside once the weather starts to change. The trouble is we're going into winter now and the weather does get a bit windy at the moment. Also I'll show you some night mode here. It's indoors, but it is night mode, so you can see as well some of the lights, and it does look very much like a UFO from the sky if you take it up. So you can go up to 100 meters, which is pretty nice as well with this particular type of quadcopter. Now the frequency of this is 2.4 gigahertz, and also the weight of the drone is 163 grams, which means it's not very heavy and it's very, very lightweight. Now again, also this does come fully assembled, so as soon as you get this, all you need to do is put a bit of charge in the batteries, make sure they're fully charged, and also put some alkaline batteries into the controller, and calibrate the controller with the drone, and you're pretty much ready to go for your first flight. Now you do get 2 batteries in here, which does give you that extra flight time, and as you can see, that one was pretty close there. But other than that, I think you're going to really enjoy this one, and I will leave all the information in the video description. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up. My name is Brian from briteccomputers.co.uk. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a lovely day, and I shall see you again for another video real soon. Bye for now.